Hello, it's Classy here, back with another Tribes video, and as you can see I'm jumping right into the summons for the new Six Tails Naruto. And the reason why I'm doing this is because yesterday when I was looking at his kit when he was being released, it looked really great. So although I only have 4,000 Shino coins, I'm going to try to get him. And today's video is basically just a quick review on my first impressions. Whether I get him from this or not, he's already on my server 8 account, so I can always go there, worst case. And yeah, I can just tell you guys right now that I think he's SSS tier on the tier list, which is the best tier. He's comparable in a way to Datara's Sublime, who is also a very heavy AoE nuker. He used to be the king of AoE, but with the release of this new Six Tails A-type AoE Naruto, who grows stronger with every turn with his kit, we'll see later, he might be able to surpass Sublime. The problem with Sublime was that his vitality was not the best. He was getting extra chakra from 3 chain attacks, so in Arena it took him a long time before he had enough chakra, even with Sai, to use his jutsu. And that's where the main damage source is. So as you can see, the first few multis, or as you can see, the first few singles are pretty bad. So, and I'm not really getting better luck, but with only 4,000 Shino coins, I really wasn't expecting much. I'm just glad we have him on one account at least. But this multi might get to decide whether I get him or not. Okay, so no Papa Sasuke, which is not very good. Okay, that's a yikes. No final Valve animation. Ooh, I haven't seen that in a while. That means that's a guaranteed UR in the multi. But sadly, I'm not 100% sure if that guarantees Six Tails. But I'll take 2 Shikamaru's. You'll see why. I'm doing a showcase on him. He's my favorite. Okay, well, that's pretty ironic, I guess. I was talking about how my old love Sublime was going to be overthrown, and he's here just to remind me he's still the best. But yeah, we'll just jump to server 8 and check out what's going on then with the new Six Tails. Alright guys, so I'm here on server 8, and for people who are curious, this is a shared account between me and a friend of mine, and he was lucky today. He was able to pull this guy in like 2 singles or something, so I'm happy to come on server 8 to do showcases. So here we go. First thing, this character model looks really good. I haven't seen him in a fight yet, but this idle animation just looks really nice. I don't even like Naruto like that much. I think he's a great protagonist, but like he was never one of my favorite characters. But this Six Tail form looks really nice here. Alright, here we go. Actually, first things first, we check out the links. Pain and Hinata, that makes sense because they were in the same fight. Sakura and Yamato, that makes sense also as teammates. This one's kind of annoying, like why would you make him link to Minato? That's just like a pretty greedy move, I think, because that forces you to pull Minato, and as you can see we didn't. So speaking of Minato, I'm pretty sad that they used him as bait. Like, Minato is actually a good character, but compared to the character that came out after him, he was not as good. So that's kind of them using him as bait just because he's Minato. But don't worry, he's still a good character, and I assume the next Minato is going to be really good. But yeah, this link bonus doesn't really make any sense. For his stats, honestly, he has pretty good defense for his guard rate, and his critical damage increase rate is really nice. Most of the other stats are like pretty decent. Mostly the crit stats and then the guard rate are notable. Alright, so back to this. His tailed beast bomb. From now on, everything's gonna be power crept, you know. So he'll do 100% plus 150% damage to all active enemies as the power creep AoE. But before he does that, he actually boosts his own damage increase rate by 20%, which is a really high number. And then he boosts himself, and then he deals all this damage. And then he lowers all enemies' damage reduction rate by 16%, which is a good number. Then he boosts his own damage increase rate again by 10% for the rest of the battle. So this is already a really good jutsu. It has the heavy debuff for the enemies, and then he boosts himself before and after doing massive damage to all active enemies. So this is like really good, basically. I don't really have much else to say about this. From the jutsu alone, his kit is already looking good. We know he's an A-type. He's supposed to be a self-boosting nuker. I really like the skill name. It's pretty funny, honestly. Just capital GRAR with 2 exclamation points. Okay, so he does the regular damage for skills. I'm assuming all skills will be this damage in the future as well. 100% plus like 27 or 30%. He'll boost his own critical rate by 13% for the rest of the battles. So yeah, you know, this is one of those skills that's similar to Santa Naruto and Data Sublime, like the AoE nukers. They just boost themselves with their second skill, set themselves up for more damage. Okay, the attack boost is nice, obviously. Fractured Self boosts own attack by 3% for the rest of the battle, which each turn that passes. Now this is actually a new kit, which is really awesome to see. There hasn't been characters that have the in-game text of each turn that passes, so this includes like basically when you go and then the enemy goes and they fight each other and deal damage, that's basically one turn. So every time he'll boost his attack by 3% if he survives. So what does this mean for the game in general? Like, he'll be really good in PvE, obviously, because you want him to be surviving in PvE just like other AoE nukers, so they can stack and deal extra damage to the enemies. And in PvE, you'll be using a lot of stuns and stuff to make sure that they stay alive. So having an ability like this, especially for Abyss, where it might take quite a few turns to take out all the opponents, is really good. Even in a ninja arena, you want him protected, just like the other AoE nukers. And then every turn he'll be boosting himself by a percentage. So that's really awesome. The gear looks really nice, to be honest. Now here's the difference maker between him and Data Sublime. He has a better vitality. So he gets extra chakra upon enemies, extra chakra upon allies defeat. I'm just going to get this max real quick. Right, so it'll be plus 5,000 every time one of your allies is defeated. And then when you defeat an enemy, you'll get 3/4. So this is actually good for him because he's a unit that is meant to survive long game, so he can keep stacking. And then when the enemy is defeated, he'll also get extra chakra. And obviously he's going to be defeating enemies because he hits really hard, and with a lot of buffs he'll hit even harder. So overall, this is really good. Now, in comparison, what I was mentioning earlier about Sublime, this vitality is just not as good as that one. As you can tell, he only gets plus 2,000 during a 2-chain and then plus 4,000 during a 3-chain. But sometimes in arena, like, you're going to lose your allies. So Deidara is not always going to get enough chakra, and he takes a long time to wind up for his attack. But I'm not going to say that he's necessarily worse than this new Naruto. I think there are situations where he's better with his kit, but at least they're going to be on the same tier, which is SSS tier, and that's the best tier. And also I might have slight bias because Deidara is one of my favorite characters. Yeah, so I don't have this Limit Break 2 unlocked yet, but I do know in general like what his Limit Break 2 is, so I'm just going to find that real quick. Okay, so he's going to boost his own damage increase rate and his own damage reduction rate by around like 1 to 2%. Obviously it depends on upgrades with every turn that passes. So this is great. It allows him to protect himself as well, and it follows the theme of him surviving into the late game, because every turn that passes he gets a bunch of different boosts to himself. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this character. SSS tier, really great AoE nuker. Might take the crown from Deidara Sublime. They can share the crown. I'm okay with that. Yeah, that's about it. I was just checking to see if I missed anything. I don't think I did. We'll do a full showcase once we get his stars up and we finish upgrading him. And yeah, if you guys are new players watching this, you should try re-rolling for him. He'll carry you. If you guys are veteran players, you guys can try your luck and see if you can get him. He'll be a really great addition to your team for both PvE and PvP. I'm honestly like not that disappointed I didn't get him on my main account because I only had 4,000 coins, but I do have Deidara Sublime fully upgraded on that, as well as fully upgraded Santa Naruto, so those are also two really great AoE nukes. So it's not the end of the world that I'm missing this character, but maybe one day I'll get him on like a free pull or something, and then I can build him up again. Or his extra fragment banner might be a really great way to get him if you guys are still trying to. And the meta might be shifting to a full AoE team or a heavy AoE team with all of these excellent nukers, so be on the lookout for that and I'll be sure to cover that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and good luck on your pulls.